Thank you for listening to my Postdoc Transformation show. Maybe you now want to leap out of science and start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from my free business preparation quiz as linked in the show notes. If you want to organize your marketing and selling efforts, please also subscribe to my new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized. I share my tricks from creating this show, speak with business owners who run a podcast for their business, and learn from podcasting service providers about their tools boosting our businesses. My new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized, will also be a living example of applied industrial and occupational psychology for my students in real life. And now, let's get to this episode. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Invest in your postdoc transformation. Welcome to the seasonal show for scientists leaping into business. In every sponsored episode, we are happy to recommend employers of choice for you. Make sure to check your readiness to leap out of science with us for free, as linked in the show notes. For your career transition, we offer customized career transition e-courses and memberships also at graduate schools all over the world. Maybe yours too. And if your university isn't yet our customer, enroll in your free email course for career transition made simple, as linked in the show notes. I'm your host, Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, with my team who is rooting for you. And let's build your postdoc transformation with this episode. Manifest your future and be the hero of your own postdoc transformation. Today, I want to dive into a topic that will especially be meaningful if you are on the verge of making that leap from academia to the business world. Let's talk about writing a manifest. Not just any manifest, but one for your personal and professional transition. And in the second half of this episode, we will even transfer a marketing concept called StoryBrand framework by Donald Miller to your own situation so that you can become the hero of your postdoc transformation. This episode is value-packed with a lot of prompts, and if you want to have a template, then let us know via subscribing to our Postdoc Transformation Show Inner Circle email list, and we will send you a manifest template. You might wonder, why would I need a manifest for my career transition? Well, here's the thing. When we think about transitions, especially from moving from academia into the business world, there's a lot of uncertainty, self-doubt, and sometimes even fear. Possibly you feel alone because you have not yet unveiled your plan to leave, because you are anxious to disappoint your supervisor or lose the respect of your team members or your peer group, or even disappoint your family. So writing a manifest can be your guiding light for low times, and trust me, there will be a lot of low times. So this is something that will come in handy. A powerful tool to anchor your intentions, to articulate your values and shape the direction you want to take. It's a blend of a vision and strategy, all my home turf, personalized for your own postdoc transformation. And if you haven't yet, listen to our very first episode, How to Check Your Readiness to Leap Out of Science with 15 yes and no questions to help you find your new future of work. And if it's in business and industries, this episode is very powerful. If it's not, you want to stay in academia, then at least you've been systematic and reflective in your planning. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you. And once you have determined your readiness to leap and want to transition into business or industries, then you can enroll in your free email course with 10 actionable, bingeable email lessons until you start your job in business. You'll get 10 emails like this. Number 1, how to leap out of science. Number 2, how to build your sustainable LinkedIn profile. Number 3, how to read social media and network. Number 4, how to research your favorite jobs and employers. Number 5, how to do information interviews to get insights. Number 6, how to create your customized applications with ChatGPT. Number 7, how to prepare your thesis from a business point of view. Number 8, how to apply to your favorite employers. Number 9, how to choose the right job offer. Number 10, how to prepare for your new job. And did you know that we offer deep dive e-course workshops and memberships at graduate schools, maybe also at yours in the future? Ask your graduate school coordinator whether they want to book my services so that I can deliver them to you 24/7, 365 on your mobile device. And even better, if you get us paid by your grad school, we will pay you 50% recurring sales commissions. So you will earn money with us as we help you and your PhD besties to transition into business. We can build a postdoc transformation together. Woohoo! After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. So, without further ado, let's break it down. First things first, let's define what a manifest is. You might have heard the term in different contexts, and today we're talking about a professional and personal manifest for yourself. It's a written declaration of your goals, your values, and the principles that will guide you as a step into the next phase of your life. Think of it as a roadmap for your own postdoc transformation. This isn't a vague wish list of what you hope happens in your career or life. A manifest is something far more intentional. It's about claiming your future, aligning it with your present actions, and recognizing that past experiences do shape the direction you're moving. So my own students hopefully will recognize that as a distinction between top-down versus bottom-up processing. So one question is, why is it important, especially for postdoc or PhD scientists, leaping into the business world? Well, in academia, you've likely had a structured path where your research and results guide you the way. But in business, that structure is less defined. You're not just applying for jobs. You are rebranding yourself. And that's why it's also so important to have this identity as a scientist tucked away somewhere so that you open up to embrace your new identity in the business world. So this rebranding is important. You need to learn a new language, figure out your new position in entirely new landscape for you. And Dr. Emily Rosenthal also talked about it in her interview, episode number 27, Transitioning from Research into Business, which we will link in the show notes. So writing a manifest is your opportunity to take control of this transition, to take agency, so to speak, so that it's not happening to you, but for you, okay? You're not just a passenger on this journey, but you own your postdoc transformation by being in the driver's seat, just as I have mentioned in episode 57. Embrace your future, appreciate your past, which I will also link in the show notes. And here's what I have learned, both from my own postdoc transformation and from coaching others. Without a clear sense of where you want to go, it's easy to feel lost, overwhelmed, and unsure about what steps to take next. Okay? A little bit storytelling. As you can see from my LinkedIn profile, after my PhD in neuroscience, I worked at Aldi South, the grocery discounter, as an IT analyst. And I know it sounds far-fetched being a psychologist, being a neuroscientist, but this is my path. And we offered weekly specials in the Aldi stores. So just imagine someone walking into the store. If a customer has no plan of what is really needed in the household, then every weekly special seems attractive. And maybe you can already relate to that. Have you ever bought something that is a special, don't really need it, but because it's so nicely displayed, you just buy it? So it's an open secret that sales and also profits are bigger for the specials than for the usual groceries, which is not so good for the customer. It's better for Aldi South. And the same applies to your own situation. If you don't know why you want your career transition, then you will be blinded by the various industries and job roles, or even won't be able to see future-proof opportunities. And I want you, dear postdoc transformer, to easily say no to things that are not according to your vision of life. Otherwise, you will say yes to every new shiny object. Like, you've read about UX, user experience, and then you want to do that because you have heard a lot of people doing that, but it's not the best fit for you. You have to know why it should be the best fit for your own postdoc transformation. Okay? Likewise, maybe you get a job offer that is superficially the straw you need. And I know being jobless for many months will make you vulnerable and needy and, might break you. And that's why you need to build your bridge for your future in our next episode, so stay tuned. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. I want to share with you my best marketing agent. Serving my underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved audience, leads, and clients is key for me as an Asian working mom, business owner, and professor in Germany. But I can't be marketing and selling all the time, and I have to be mindful with my own resources. So I chose Podbean as my podcast hosting and monetizing provider. I'm on the Unlimited Plus plan for our Postdoc Transformation show and Creating Reorganized show. With Podbean, your audience can inclusively listen and watch your podcast according to their visual and auditive needs. You can also embed your customized podcast player on your external website or use one of the beautiful website templates. You can easily share your podcast on all major podcasting directories, which allows you to reach a huge audience on their favorite devices in their countries. Podbean also has an ads marketplace, and you can easily attract and manage sponsors for dynamic ads, which are played out depending on your audience criteria. This way, you can serve your audience for free. Some of them become your clients eventually, but your advertising sponsors independently support you financially in each episode. See insightful stats per demographic and which episodes attracted most listeners so you can tailor your future episodes for your leads and clients and present suitable external ads. If you want to try Podbean for your own podcasting, DM or email me Podbean so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Podbean link. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. Okay? I want you to be prepared and to not be desperate. And that's why time is your friend. You have to prepare your own postdoc transformation. Back to our episode. Your manifest provides clarity in the midst of that uncertainty. It allows you to outline your vision, set realistic goals, and focus on principles that guide your decision-making. Think of it as a checklist so that you can always compare the job description in thinking of, I have to have enough points to apply. I'm not going to apply to every job I see. And talking about goals, listen back to the episode 57, Embrace Your Future, Appreciate Your Past, where we also talked about goal setting, and you'll find this episode linked in the show notes. Okay, so how'd you go about writing your own manifest? I like to break it down into 6 key elements. Number 1, your vision of life. Like I often sign off my episodes, build your postdoc transformation according to your vision of life. I really mean it. This is the big picture idea of what your family, your friends, and the people you love should have experienced with you when you are old. So in hindsight, what will they tell about you when you're dead? We have kids. Will they, as adults, like to spend quality time with you because you were also there for them when they were little, when they needed you? Or will they come to your house only because of your spouse who cared more for them while you thrived in other things, your job or whatever it is? Talking about job, you need to also think about greedy jobs versus non-greedy jobs. And if the term greedy job in the context of juggling work and life rings no bell, I strongly encourage you also to listen to our previous episode number 51, Satisfaction with Your Children and Career, as linked in the show notes. Why that matters, especially if you have no partner at the moment or you and your spouse have not yet children, well, these are turning points of your life. And it's hard to live according to your vision of life when you have already invested in buying a company or hate running it, or you are expected to work crazy hours, often abroad. While these examples seem far-fetched for you right now, in hindsight, they had predecessor roads towards these positions. The clearer you are in your vision of life, the more or less tempting will be a promotion and recommendation for the partner track in the top global consulting company. And that's why this strength in the stance of what is good for you or not according to your vision of life, this is really important so that you can take on a less glorious job in a family-friendly company with moderate or little employee turnover rate, because that's, at the end, what matters. But whatever matters to you, this is something that you have to discern. I cannot tell you what you need. I just want you to make an informed decision based on your own values. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. I want to share with you my time and energy saver. As a professor for industrial and occupational psychology, I also teach about the future of work. And as a former IT strategy consultant, of course I embrace AI to be a future-proof podcast producer of the Postdoc Transformation Show and the Creating Reorganized Show. Descript is the video and audio podcast editing tool of my choice. I pay for the creator plan, and it's worth every dollar. Descript comes with an integrated professional remote recording studio for the best audio quality for your guests. For example, I record an hour interview with a guest or a solo, and instead of painstakingly doing a rough cut and deleting all the ums and ahs and filler words and rambling around, which I did for hours, I now click on Descript AI, editing for clarity, and my rough cut is done in seconds or a minute. For fine-tuning, I edit text instead of audio waves, and I just insert all my pre-recorded music, intro, ads, and outro, like this one, in a matter of minutes. I can then easily export closed captions, fine-tune AI-driven summaries, chapter markers and titles, which I feed into my show notes and podcast host. Descript even suggests the best clips for social media, and the video editor automatically includes the synchronized speakers' cameras and audio captions. I can also include stock graphics or pre-recorded videos, and you can find all our short-form examples on our Instagram and TikTok at PostdocTransformation. If you want to try out Descript for your own podcast editing, DM or email me Descript so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out on my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Descript link. After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. Now that we've talked about the vision, which is like at the end of your life, there is also the little sibling, which is called the outlook. Number 2, where do you want to be in the next years? And I know this is a question that in job interviews, everyone dislikes. But the thing is, for your own orientation, it is a great question. What does your ideal future in the business world look like? What kind of work excites you? What kind of role do you want to play in your new industry? Don't be afraid to dream big here, but also keep in mind that your first job in business won't be your last one. Likewise, your first business model won't be your last business model. So you can be bold and experienced if you are young enough for your other personal goals. And just to mention the elephant in the room, of course, I want to highlight the concept of social egg freezing, as mentioned in our episode 51, Satisfaction with Your Children and Career, as linked in the show notes. And if your thoughts on possible business roles are blank, well, I recommend listening to episodes 18 and 19, where we discuss also business roles requiring research and teaching skills. And if you want to listen to inspiring role models who made the leap and thrived as directors in consulting or in other corporate companies, please check out our numerous interviews as linked in the show notes. And if you want to connect with them and don't know how to, we are planning an advent calendar highlighting them, and you can easily comment and connect with them to learn more for your own postdoc transformation. Number 3, values. You need to identify your own core values. These are the non-negotiables that you want to carry with you from academia to business. It could be things like innovation, integrity, work-life balance, or inclusivity. These values should guide your decisions and help you choose opportunities and determine how you want to lead or contribute to a team. Again, if you are new to our show, listen to our first episode where we also talk about values. And maybe you even want to listen to it again now with more months into your postdoc transformation. It will be maybe even more insightful today. And number 4, it's about skills and strengths. So think about the skills you have gained through your academic journey. Which of these are transferable to the business world? And that's why we also talk about transfer a marketing concept to your own situation in part 2 of this episode. So think about your transferable skills. Maybe it's problem solving, critical thinking, project management, or even public speaking, science communication. This is where you start to see how your academic experience will fuel your future success in business. And especially in our Future of Work episode, we also discuss future skills that are in high demand. So if you have no idea which of your transferable skills are also high in demand, listen to that episode, which we will link in the show notes. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. I want to share with you my number 1 lead generator, and you can start that even without a podcast. It's Typeform, and I use them to create free quizzes with open questions and multiple choice answers. I also predefine mandatory answers so I can qualify and score leads, collect their email addresses for later nurturing. I can brand my quizzes with my audio files, brand a given quiz based on the answers for the different target groups, maybe sharing specific podcast episodes or other information, and automatically send them an email after submitting the quiz. I even include a calendar invite for those leads who qualify specifically. So now I can help everyone on the surface and on a deep level for free and divert my own valuable time only to my high-ticket leads. I collect all the data automatically after my initial setup, as I have also integrated it with my remaining tech stack. If you want to try out Typeform for your own lead generation and qualification, DM or email me Typeform so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. Again, I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Typeform link. After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. Number 5, challenges. You have to be honest with yourself. I think most of us scientists are pretty resilient because this is how the academic name of the game is, right? What are the hurdles you anticipate facing as you are transitioning into business? Well, there are some hurdles, but they're all manageable. So it could be learning a new jargon, it could be developing a new network on LinkedIn, It could be stepping into expert and leadership roles you've never held before. Naming your challenges and fears upfront helps you to demystify them. And talking about fears, you must tame them before you leap into business. Do you fear sacrificing passion when you leap into business after your PhD or postdoc? Do you ask yourself whether career growth in business is equal for you as an underrepresented, underprivileged, and underserved human? Do you feel the cultural adjustments at a business working place? Maybe you fear losing your academic credibility or making the wrong decision or not finding enough purpose. Maybe you are anxious about the fast pace or too steep learning curves in business. Whatever it is, there are many more fears to come. Listen to our 2 episodes helping you identify and tame your fears as linked in the show notes. Number 6, action plan. Finally, break it down into actionable steps. What's the first thing that you need to do? Is it networking on LinkedIn? Maybe even before, is it creating a profile on LinkedIn? Maybe it's reaching out to potential mentors in the industry. Or perhaps you need to invest personal time in professional development, like learning a new business skill or software, taking a leadership course, or whatever it is. This plan should be specific with deadlines so you can track your progress. Especially if you want to look into LinkedIn and have no idea about doing that, this is my plug to invite you to our free email course for your career transition made simple, as you will find actionable advice for LinkedIn in there, as linked in the show notes, of course. And talking about planning with deadlines, I want you to think of a calendar like our Postdoc Transformation calendar, where you can plan with deadlines so you can track your progress. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. Have you found this episode so far helpful for yourself? Well, maybe you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or wherever you get our show. And also share this episode with your PhD bestie, because that would encourage us to help the underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved early career scientists leaping into business. This would also ensure that you don't miss a future episode. Also, our subscription and listening numbers are key for finding the right sponsors for our show so that we can help you for free. If you want a relatively passive income, creating a paid e-course as your service is a great option, especially if you are like me, an experienced teacher in higher education, and now want to share even more knowledge and maybe also create a paid membership with live group meetings beyond the e-course. Offering an e-course is a no-brainer. Thinkific is an AI-infused learning management system, which is a dream for every educator. After setting up an e-course or membership, you also need to market and sell your e-course, and that's when lead generation with Typeform and podcasting with Descript and Podbean can complement you well. If you want to try out Thinkific for creating your own e-course and membership, DM or email me, Thinkific, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Thinkific link. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. So these are the 6 points I wanted to think of writing your manifest. Number 1, your vision of life. Number 2, your outlook. Number 3, your values. Number 4, your skills and strengths. Number 5, your challenges. And number 6, your action plan. Now, writing the manifest is only half of the journey. The real power comes in reviewing it, refining it, and living by it so that you can have an ongoing postdoc transformation according to your vision of life. I recommend printing it. And if you like, you can find our manifest template by joining our email list, the inner circle of the Postdoc Transformation Show. We will link to it in the show notes. This manifest is not something that you write once and forget about it. As you grow, as you learn and encounter new challenges, your manifest should evolve with you. And don't hesitate to share it with your mentors, your friends and colleagues if they are with you, if they stand behind you. They can provide feedback, hold you accountable, and even introduce you to new perspectives you had not considered. Now, I want to switch gears and show you why being or becoming interdisciplinary is so powerful. And I want you to understand transferring. I want to introduce you to a marketing strategy, which is called StoryBrand framework by Donald Miller. Just provide the context here. If a business is trying to market itself, this framework is really insightful. And in this episode, we're flipping that script and applying that to you, to your career transition situation, so that you can see yourself as the hero of your own postdoc transformation. Let me start by asking you something. Have you ever written about yourself as if you were the hero of a story? And I'm not talking about a typical resume or a CV, but a story where you are the protagonist, the hero, overcoming challenges, solving problems, and reaching your goals. If not, you're really missing out on a powerful exercise. Today, we're going to guide you through that process, which is called the StoryBrand framework. So this is something I personally wish I had known when I made my own transition out of academia into business 2008. It's easy to get stuck in a place where you are unsure of what your next steps could be. And the StoryBrand framework will help you find that clarity. Just to give an explanation why I didn't know it 2008, well, I studied psychology, I did my PhD in neuroscience, I had no business foundation whatsoever. For me, at that time, I thought great products, great services speak for themselves and they don't need promotion and marketing to get sales. But if I had known that, I would have probably been able to market myself much better into business. I'll give you a shortcut, and I hope that you will appreciate this. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. Hey, I'm back again. So far, you have learned all my favorite marketing and sales tools. Now, how can you bring all the data from your audience, leads, and clients together so you can serve them on a value ladder and for the long term? Even after multiple touchpoints with you, you want to remain on their mind for when they are ready to buy your service or product. I am expanding my digital business, and I use ActiveCampaign as the centerpiece for all my services like email course, podcast, newsletter, show notes, websites, sales page, merch shop, forms, whatever it is as needed. As a former IT strategy consultant, I have high requirements on my tech stack, and ActiveCampaign offers so many integrations to all my other apps. I really use it daily. If you want to create your own digital business with various AI-driven lead magnets and funnel options, DM or email me, ActiveCampaign, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my ActiveCampaign link. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. Here's how you can use the StoryBrand framework to manifest your own postdoc transformation. There are 7 elements to the framework, and we're going to apply each one to your career. So get ready, because you are going to write the most important story of all. That's your own new origin story of why you now leap into business. 7 elements. We start with number 1, the hero, and ba-ba-ba-bam, that's you. In every great story, there's a hero. You are the hero of your own postdoc transformation. You have skills, knowledge, and a unique set of experiences that you've been gaining from your years in academia. But as a hero, you are also challenged. You are facing a challenge that is transitioning into business, and that can feel daunting. I understand that. Been there, done that. So take a moment right now and picture yourself as the hero of your own postdoc transformation. And that is not just a daydream. It's the foundation for how you will make decisions and take action moving forward. And here's the question for you to consider. What is your vision of life that you have for yourself as the hero of your own postdoc transformation? Picture it, writing it down. I actually have a wallpaper like 2 meters long where I scribbled down everything that is part of my vision of life. Number 2, the problem. So essentially, what is standing in your way? In every story, the hero faces a challenge or a problem that you need to solve. Okay? For you, the problem might be uncertainty about how to transition out of academia. Maybe you feel like you don't have the right business skills, or you're not sure how to leverage your PhD into a non-academic role. What are your obstacles? Write them down. Every hero has obstacles. That is normal. It's part of the journey, and that really makes you unique. All the others are scientists who remain in science. But you are the one leaping from where you are today into whatever you will do tomorrow. Okay? And that makes you even more powerful because it's making you unique, and you recognize those challenges and you take them head on. So here's your writing prompt. What is the biggest challenge standing between you and your future self? Number 3, the guide. Find your mentor or mentors. The good news is that the hero doesn't have to do it alone. You can have a guide. In the StoryBrand framework, the guide helps the hero overcome the challenge. And for you, this guide could be a mentor, a coach, a podcast, maybe. And I hope it's the Postdoc Transformation Show for scientists leaping into business just like you. Or a community of like-minded people going through the same process. Your PhD besties, maybe. And don't forget to share the whole show with them. As your guide, my role today is to help you to see the path forward. And I want you to think about also who else can be your guide, who else can give you advice, help you map out your next steps, and could be there also for your support. Here's your writing prompt. Who are your guides, and what resources do you have access to that will help you through this transition? I strongly recommend listening to our many inspiring Postdoc Transformation Show interviews with scientists who thrive in business today. Number 4, the plan. Craft your roadmap. Now, every great guide gives the hero a plan. That's what I do as well. The plan is a simple, actionable roadmap to success. For you, this plan might involve identifying transferable skills, networking with people in your target industry, and gaining business experience. Maybe it's creating a timeline in your postdoc transformation calendar for your job transition. You can download that now via the link in the show notes. Or you can also launch your own business. And don't forget to also listen to our episode, What Makes a Scientist a Great Entrepreneur? Because I really do think that you should not just consider being employed outside of academia in business, but instead you should also think about, can you start up your own business as well? Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. Let's hold that thought for a quick appreciation of your business. Are you wondering when and where you can get the attention of your audience? You always think you don't have the time to post on multiple social media platforms. I totally get you. I have been enjoying weeks of social media breaks while I served my audience with prepared content to be scheduled out as needed. Ideally, you have just derived countless social media content from your one video podcast episode. But even without a podcast, with Later, You can create and schedule your own social media content in advance, according to the best posting times based on your followers. If you want to schedule your content on social media, DM or email me later so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. Again, I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my later link. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. And your plan does not need to be complex. It needs to be clear and manageable. So here's your writing prompt. Write down 3 specific actions you can take over the next month or year to move closer to your goal. And if you don't have a calendar for next year, feel free to download our Postdoc Transformation Show calendar, as mentioned in our episode 56, Reorganize for Your Postdoc Transformation. Again, it's linked in the show notes. And number 5, the call to action. It's time to move. All right, you're the hero, so let's start the part where you stop thinking and start doing. The call to action in the StoryBrand framework is what pushes the hero to take the leap. And in your career transition, this might mean sending out those first few job applications, asking someone for an informational interview, or maybe even creating your LinkedIn profile if you haven't yet. And if you need free guidance, enroll in a free email course for your career transition made simple. In one of these emails, we outline how you can show with your LinkedIn profile that you are ready to leap into business. So here's your writing prompt. What's one bold action you can take this week, next month, or even next year to move the needle in your career transition? Number 6, success. Imagine your postdoc transformation. Now let's talk about the fun part. What success looks like for you. In every story, the hero reaches a point of transformation where they've overcome their challenges and achieved their goals. And for you, in your postdoc transformation, success might mean landing an entry or expert role in a company that values your research background, or launching your own consulting business. And maybe it's even becoming the thought leader you've always wanted to be. But here's the key. You need to be able to visualize this success, picture it clearly, and don't be afraid to dream big. Here's your writing prompt. What does success look like for you in your postdoc transformation? How does it feel? Number 7, failure. Let's talk about what is at stake. In every story, if the hero doesn't take action, there's a cost. Maybe they stay stuck, miss out on opportunities, or live with regret. I know that sounds a little bit tough, but it's important to think about what happens if you don't take action on your postdoc transformation. Okay? Here's your writing prompt. What's at stake if you don't make this first step? What would you miss out when you don't have your postdoc transformation according to your vision of life? And the more adverse this is, the more aversive this is, the more you will be determined to be successful in your ongoing postdoc transformation. Remember, you are a postdoc transformer. You are highly intelligent, well-educated, a bachelor, master, and maybe you have already your doctor under your belt, or you are a postdoc. You are internationally experienced, fluent in English, a leader and expert in your prior research field. You're resilient, brilliant in adaptation and problem solving. You are eager to bring in the transferable and monetizable skills needed in many companies to embrace the future and to become or remain an innovator in their markets. Hey, Postdoc Transformer, are you curious to ask professors, principal investigators, visiting scientists, postdocs, PhD students, and candidates some in-depth life and career guiding questions? But it feels cringe, so you end up not asking? Buy our Postdoc Transformation card game to have more fun and valuable insights in your journal club, lab, and mentoring meetings, lab rotations, during conferences, panels, and breaks at the Mensa. You'll get 10 intriguing mentoring questions per career level. So 10 for PhD students, 10 for postdocs, 10 for professors, 10 for parental scientists, underprivileged and underrepresented and underserved scientists. Check them out with our discount coupon on the Postdoc Transformation shop, linked on PostdocTransformation.com. In closing, I want to remind you that this manifest is yours, not mine, not someone else. Even if we would be working in a workshop together and you would be sitting next to someone else who is of similar scientific background, you can share your manifest, but every manifest belongs to the writer. It's a declaration of your intentions, your dreams, and your professional identity. Writing it will give you the clarity and confidence you need to navigate in your own postdoc transformation. Because I've been doing a lot of career transition workshops at graduate schools, I've seen time and time again that those who take the time to write down their goals and strategies for transitioning thrive because they have already envisioned their success. This is what they really, really want. They are clear in that. And they're just stepping into what they have already claimed. And you can do this too. By applying the StoryBrand framework by Donald Miller on yourself, you become the hero of your own postdoc transformation. And you can get a step towards what you want. You've got the tools and the plan, and now it's time to take action step by step. And you don't need to have figured out everything right now. You just start writing your story, and soon enough, you will find yourself living it because it pulls you in the right direction. This is like your North Star. This is what you want. And then it's easy to discard the things that will, be a dead end at the end of the day. Remember, you are in control of your own narrative. You can create a new origin story for your postdoc transformation. And that is essentially personal branding, which is key also for your continued and amplified success in your business career. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Postdoc Transformation Show for scientists leaping into business just like you. And I hope this episode has inspired you to start writing your own manifest and take that powerful first step in your postdoc transformation. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with your PhD bestie, or be the first to review us on your preferred podcast player. This would help us to provide a postdoc transformation show for free. We finance this show with ads and our second upcoming show, so we need high downloads, high ratings, and word-of-mouth recommendations. And as always, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or send me a DM sharing any of your career transition questions so that we can answer them in future episodes of our Postdoc Transformation Show, because we really want to answer questions from our Postdoc Transformation community. Until next time, dear Postdoc Transformer, keep dreaming big, keep taking action, and remember, you are already on your way of your postdoc transformation. You actually have a gift in your hand. You have a tabula rasa, an empty table. And especially if you don't have children yet, you can jumpstart your new career everywhere, in many directions in your future of work. In this regard, if you haven't, please also listen to our episode number 4, The Future of Work for PhD Holders New in Business, or 22, Working Out Your Future, or 43, Betting on Yourself for Your Future, and close to my heart, of course, episode number 44, Your Future of Work is with AI. And also related, episode 29, Authenticity in Job Search Saves Your Mental Health. Let us know via social media if you want me or my team to host online exclusive sessions so that you can create your own calendar for next year, as mentioned in episode 56. Create your time capsule, as mentioned in episode 57, and write your manifest from this episode under our guidance. We can imagine a paid one-day workshop every autumn or once a year at 2 price points, cheaper with my team members or at a higher ticket with myself. Meanwhile, this mini-series, starting from episode 56 to 60, is really valuable and free preparation for you. And I am walking my talk, as every year we are reorganizing our business model based on our return on investment, which is building my postdoc transformation according to my vision of life. Do you want a transcript of our episode? And our episode sponsors answers to all 6 bold questions so that you can choose to apply. Do you want to nominate your potential employer of choice so that we can ask them our bold questions? For all of that, click on our links in our show notes and on our website, www.postdoctransformation.com. Remember to check your readiness to leap out of science and to enroll in our free email course, Career Transition Made Simple. Thanks for your attention. I'm Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, the host of your seasonal Postdoc Transformation show. Postdoc Transformation.